guys? Welcome to Game Day Everyday, episode 6, man. We back, okay, in the studio. I'm sorry for that. I'm sorry. Anyway, I'm Jackson, man. This is Tyler.
Yep.
And, you already know what to do. We debate. So here we go.
All right. So with that intro, I guess we'll go into NBA. 6 weeks in. It's starting to get a little interesting, I think.
Yeah, it's been great, actually. There's actually a lot of competition. Like, the Warriors still the Warriors, but
Yeah, it's got a lot of interesting headlines going on, and I think I'm gonna start off with Markelle Fultz. What is happening with him?
well, according to your words yesterday, he was garbage.
Well, he's been garbage all year, but to be out with an injury every time when it's proven that you can play still, it shows that you don't have an excuse.
Yeah.
Your only excuse is that you're garbage and you just want to take
Yeah,
off
you just
time.
can't play
Yeah,
anymore.
you're too scared to play now.
Yeah.
Like,
Dude, that's really sad though. Like the Sixers had some really good faith in him.
I compare this situation with Kwame Brown. Kwame Brown was a great player coming out of high school. Number 1 pick, obviously, for the Wizards.
Stephen A. Smith, I love it. Kwame Brown.
So Kwame Brown coming out of high school, going to the Wizards. Michael Jordan wanted to treat him like his other son. Now you could just imagine all the pressure in the world if Michael Jordan treats you like his other son.
Yeah.
So one of the greatest athletes of all time, which is insane. So imagine being that young, having all this pressure on you to be one of the best players.
Ever.
And then you get too nervous about it and too worried about it that you crack under the spotlight.
Yeah, you can't play.
That's what happened to Kwame Brown. He had so much stress. He had so much anxiety being under
I don't
Michael Jordan.
Like that feeling must be really bad.
Oh yeah, and the way
especially
Michael
if you know that you can play.
and the way Michael pushed him too that's the crazy thing.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I mean, I guess Kwame Brown didn't have his mindset, like Michael Jordan's mindset. Michael Jordan
Yeah.
wanted to.
well, Kwame Brown was a 19-year-old coming out of high school.
Yeah.
The kid didn't even go to college. Like,
But I mean,
and then you got Michael Jordan yelling at you saying you should be the next great thing. Like,
Yeah. Well, I mean, LeBron, dude. LeBron came in thinking I am gonna be the next.
I think we also have another situation like that with Lonzo Ball. Not putting up the greatest stats, hasn't really done much.
I mean, offensively, yeah. But I mean,
Defensively, he hasn't done much either. He's been getting destroyed on one-on-ones. He's just been struggling, and I think all that pressure that Magic Johnson put on him to say, "You're the next Lakers,
next
great
Laker.
point,
Mhm.
great point guard," which is a long line. You have, of course, Magic Johnson himself. You have Jerry West. Steve. Well, I wouldn't count Steve Nash.
no. Yeah. Steve Nash was
But
Nick
That
Van Exel.
yeah, Nick Van Exel. But I think when you have all this pressure and all this pressure you put on these kids, where they're new to the NBA, they're not used to a mainstream spotlight.
They haven't even played a game yet. And you're saying, oh man, they're
Playing
gonna
in a stadium with at least 50,000 fans, maybe. It's a scary thing.
Yeah,
I feel like.
it's too much pressure.
So I think that's probably the situation that's going on with Markelle. I don't think he's actually injured, even though doctors say that he's injured.
Yeah, they forced him out
Yeah.
of the NBA.
Yeah, which
Yeah.
is obviously, I feel like a lie. But moving on to players and stuff being under spotlight and just falling apart, the Bulls.
Mm.
So Fred Hoiberg was fired from the Bulls last week. He coached only 25 games this year.
That's sad.
I mean, they didn't really give him much. All he had to work with was Zach LaVine.
And Jabari Parker.
Jabari was only here for 20 games. And then Robin Lopez, who's taking up 20 mil of their cap.
That's sad.
Yeah,
I mean,
so-
they had that good second-year guy. What's his name?
Chris Dunn.
Yeah, Chris Dunn.
Chris Dunn's playing solid now.
Yeah, that's a shooter right there, bud.
I don't know. He's really good at defense, I feel like. But, yeah, so Fred Hoiberg was fired last week. Jim Boylan comes in, and now the whole franchise is just...
They had a group, the players had a group chat talking about it and say, oh, man, we should probably skip practice.
Yeah. Well, when you lose by 56, and then your coach tells you to come in the next day for an 8.5-hour practice, you're not gonna do that.
You're way too tired, dude.
That's the point I don't understand. He says that he goes off the basics of Greg Popovich because he used to be an assistant
Yeah.
with the Spurs. But Greg Popovich even walked up to him and said, hey, you need to, calm down
Yeah,
with these
calm down,
players.
yeah.
I wasn't this much. I at least know a point where enough is enough.
Yeah,
know?
you give them rest. They
Exactly.
need the rest.
And you could tell they're tired. I mean, they lost 56 points to the Celtics, which I feel Celtics aren't really that good of a team, or they're not playing well as a unit.
Yeah, they're not at what they're
Yeah.
supposed to be.
They're
what
not playing
everyone
well
thinks of them.
together as a unit, but they look good on paper. But what I'm trying to say here is, you shouldn't be pushing your players to the edge like that. 8.5 hours after losing by like 30 points or 50 points on a nightly
and
basis.
they're giving their heart out to try to come back.
Yeah.
I mean, it's obviously over after like 30 points.
Just
but it's-
saying, like, if you're gonna keep pushing your players, probably one of them's gonna get injured. If
Yeah.
you're constantly practicing, you need to give them breaks. You need to build their morale. Just all that.
So what about the Thunder, man? The Thunder are looking great. This is like their
Yeah.
post Kevin Durant kind of era now.
I think
they're moving
I
up
think
in the West.
they finally built something with Paul George and Russell Westbrook. That's the new KD and Westbrook or Westbrook duo, I guess.
Yeah.
But, yeah, they're looking really well. I'm liking what I'm seeing from their defensive standpoint with Andre Roberson and Steven Adams, who are both having decent years. So.
Yeah. I mean, Steven Adams can do a little better, rebound the ball better.
But he's still having a great year. Western Conference still pretty close together. Mavs finally moving into that 8 seed. So,
The Hawks tonight.
I think after what we've seen for the past couple weeks, of course, Luka Doncic is a heavy front runner. I mean,
For rookie, yeah, it's right now. If the voting is right now, if I'm picking Luka, I think everyone's picking Luka Doncic.
I mean, I was watching that game against Houston, and 2 step-back threes easily hit, and I was like, okay, he's
Yeah.
the real deal here.
yeah, and then when he did it against Clint Capella, like one of the best defenders, he can guard you out in the wing.
Swiss
and he
Army
just,
knife.
yeah, he just stepped back and bang with the lead. Like it was just,
Yeah, it was.
he's the real deal, man.
I think he's actually going to be the future of Dallas for sure.
Yeah, I mean,
He's going to take Dirk's. This is kind of like the passing of the torch from Dirk to Luka, I think.
yeah, I can't wait to see him like on the court together. Even if they are,
Yeah.
if Dirk ever decides to come back.
2 Europeans, dude.
Hey,
But
it always works. What about Dennis? Do you like what Dennis Smith is doing this year? Like, do you think he's
okay. So there's things that I like with Dennis, and then there's things I don't like. He's playing like a 9th pick in the draft, which is okay. I'm fine
Yeah.
with that. But he's not putting up points consistently. He shoots very inconsistently.
Yeah, he's definitely.
He
gonna work on
misses
that.
so many shots, which
And free throws.
terrible free throw shooter too. It's kind of a Lonzo situation, except he can actually score and finish.
Yeah.
So I see Dennis Smith as maybe being a key part. Definitely, I think they're definitely going to keep him in the starting lineup for just for the future. I mean,
Yeah.
he'll build into that offense, and then they can
But
start building
but
around him.
I really like Jalen Brunson. Sorry for the stutter. But like Jalen Brunson, I
Yeah,
really
Jalen
like that
Brunson's
kid,
played
man.
really well.
He was in the starting lineup against the Rockets.
Yeah,
you
I
know?
saw that. Yeah, he played really well from Villanova, of course.
Yeah.
So he definitely knows how to lead an offense. He knows how to, especially under Rick Carlisle, who's such like a
A well-respected coach.
yeah, he has such a good like foundation with this team and stuff, and they know how to run a system.
Even before the Mavs, he was.
And I
at
think
the
that's
finals.
and with Jalen Brunson being under a coach, or being under the Jay Wright, that's who it is, right, for Villanova.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jay Wright. So I think being under Jay Wright at Villanova definitely taught him how to like run a system well
Yeah.
and how to follow a system. I think with Rick Carlisle that runs perfectly.
Yeah,
So,
they're basically the same, but just.
so
a
I
higher
think he'll
level.
be a solid role player in the next coming years. But
Do you think he'll be starting?
if it's a
Ma-
Malcolm Brogdon situation, I mean, maybe. Now let's move on to the Bucks. Malcolm Brogdon
Yeah.
starting this year, playing amazing. Giannis, of course, a front runner for MVP.
Yeah, Giannis.
Yeah, he's just playing
yeah.
great.
But Giannis has been like this for at least since last year. I mean, last year he was a front runner for MVP.
Yeah, but you know how last year turned out though. He got injured, was out for a couple months. He just
But he came back and
struggled.
got the Celtics to 7 games.
Yeah, that was a really good series. Chris Middleton definitely saved us that series.
That was insane.
There's no doubt about it. Chris Middleton played amazing, but I think this year we're definitely more dangerous, but we are allowing the most threes in the NBA because we just don't know how to play defense apparently.
Yeah.
But
But they did beat the Raptors the other night.
I like Mike Budenholzer's offense where everyone on the court can shoot except the ball carrier, and then perhaps that ball carrier happens to be Giannis. So, but you got Brook Lopez in the corner. You know, you got Malcolm Brogdon on
Chris
the wing.
Middleton.
Yeah, both of them on the wings.
Eric Bledsoe.
Irvon Ilyasova, I think, is playing for us. He's playing really well. So, it's looking like a solid lineup. Right now.
I like it. I think they can compete with the Raptors, man. I mean, they did beat. It is
They-
regular season, but they beat them.
They beat him twice now.
Yeah.
So
That's 2 games in the playoffs right there.
that's
2-0.
that's gonna be huge. So, I mean, it's only regular season, so I can't say anything yet. But
Yeah. So what about? I've heard a lot of rumors about the Sixers on ESPN. Everyone's saying that Joel Embiid is like, he's unhappy with his role now. Jimmy Butler's there. You know,
it's
grow up, play. It's another star player. Like, just play.
yeah. If you could share the spotlight with Ben Simmons, you can definitely share
Yeah,
the spotlight with
like,
Jimmy Butler.
And you're the one that talks trash about winning.
And-
Okay, go win.
And if you're gonna talk, at least play. He's
Yeah.
been injured for the past couple weeks, so it's like
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, he just needs to play and show that even if Jimmy Butler's there, I can still be my own player and lead a team.
Yeah.
So,
So, all right. Moving on. Let's just go to college basketball now, because I feel like we've covered everything in the NBA
I mean,
so
yeah.
far. But it's been an interesting week for college basketball, or a couple weeks, I guess. There's been a couple shakeups. Gonzaga loses to Tennessee.
that was a really good game.
Naruya Hachimura, like I said, he's a really great player. Came from Japan, and then now playing for Gonzaga, playing really well. So,
I mean, I think Gonzaga kind of got
but
robbed last
Tennessee,
year.
what Rick Barnes has created there, former UT coach Rick Barnes, what he has created at Tennessee is a whole nother culture. I guess they've played really well.
They've always been that team a dangerous team to play in the
Kinda,
tournament.
yeah. But I think Tennessee's starting to go from a football state to maybe a basketball state. I don't know. That's just my opinion. But they played really well together as a unit. Like I said, they kind of remind me of that Auburn offense, which is like an SEC offense where everyone just plays well together. So, I don't know.
Well, Kentucky's not.
And I think Quade Green or whatever his name is for Kentucky,
Yes.
he's asking for a transfer from Kentucky. So,
that sucks, man.
I mean,
I'm not disappointed. I'm kind of disappointed, but like I thought we would do better. I don't
yeah.
know. But I mean, we don't have really all we have is Tyler Hero. I mean, that was our big recruit.
He really isn't playing that well this year.
No, he's really not. But
So,
I don't know. I thought we'd be better, but we're still a team. We're Kentucky. We're still a team. We'll make it to March Madness.
Nevada is still undefeated. What ranking are they sitting at right now?
Dude, they're number 7 right now.
So yeah, they're still undefeated. They're playing really well right now. So,
Yeah,
and
do you
that
think-
was obviously my national championship pick.
Yeah. Do you think they'll get up there in the top 5?
Oh, easily. If they win a couple more games, I think. I think if they go 12-0 or like 15-0, you're definitely top 5 material.
So what about Kansas, man? Kansas is always up there, always number 1. A couple years ago, Frank Mason, they were undefeated and they blew it.
They've always had those seniors that played well. Devontae Graham, Frank Mason, Perry or whatever.
Yeah.
Perry Ellis, that's who it is. But yeah, they've always played well. Like their seniors always show up, or just like juniors and seniors. Just their experience play really well because they know how to run that system with Bill Self.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. This year I think they got a lot of new fresh faces. They lost Malik Newman last year, so he's playing in the NBA. So I think with this fresh experience and like no one like really has fit in with that offense, they're
I
starting
mean,
to.
yeah, it still is pretty early.
No, yeah, of course. But I'm just saying, all these players that you relied on in the past couple of years, they're starting to show that you can't win without us. So
Another team. I mean, I said I always like Auburn. They're number 8 right now.
yeah, I chose Auburn as
Yeah.
maybe a pick, maybe.
I
But
chose Auburn to make the Sweet 16.
I said Final Four.
Said Final Four.
Yeah, I think they're just a really good
They're 8-1
offense
right now.
defensively.
So we'll see.
They lost to
Um,
Duke too, so it's not that crazy.
Texas Tech. They were a good basketball team last year. They made
Yeah.
a run.
They had Zaire Smith, so he played really well. This year, I'm not seeing that much versatility from their offense. Defensively, they're playing great, which is very unusual for,
Texas team.
yeah. But Yeah, I'm not really expecting much from this Texas Tech team once it comes back to conference play. So
What about Villanova, man?
lost to Penn University last night after
By-
16 straight wins against Penn University.
That's what is going on.
You lose to a team named the Quakers.
10 Quakers.
Yeah, it's a little.
I wonder if they get free oatmeal.
But yeah, I think Jay Wright has rebuilt because they lost. Like I said on
Yeah, they
last
lost
episode.
everybody, man.
Like I said on last episode, they lost like 5 guys going into the first round of the draft, which is still impressive in its own right.
Yeah.
No more Chris Jenkins, the hero of
2015.
when he hit that game winner. So I think I don't see him making it far, if we're gonna be real.
Really? You think they're gonna get knocked out first, second round?
First round.
Even if?
First round easily.
First round?
Easily.
Dang.
I don't think they'll show up tournament time.
North Carolina, obviously a team to talk about. They're number 12 right now. They're national national champions.
Only
last year.
loss. How many losses do they have?
They have 2. They're 7-2.
Okay, so yeah, they lost twice in a row to Michigan and UT. So
Michigan is great this year. They're number 5, 10-0, still undefeated. You know.
UT's been struggling lately. They
a
lost to
normal thing.
Radford. Radford's a solid team, but they're nowhere near where we should be as a D1 school in the Big 12. So I don't
I
know.
feel like we're always saying that about Texas.
because they always let me down. But yeah, I represent. But I think this offense on Texas is really stale. There's not much like creativity. There's not much shooting. It's just pretty. It's pretty much just layups, draw fouls, basically. So. I mean,
And that's really like all the teams. I mean, Virginia. Do you think Virginia?
No.
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 You think they're gonna be like last year, kind of blow it?
nothing will come back after that UMBC loss. Let's be real. That was one of the roughest games I've ever seen.
D Wade's
from them.
alma mater Marquette is up in there, number 21.
Yeah, they're playing really well.
I like that.
They beat Wisconsin the other day, so
And Wisconsin.
I think that's
bunch of white
about
kids.
it.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, that's it, I guess.
All right, so we'll move to NFL. So Cowboys continue the win streak
Yes,
Over.
sir.
over their division rivals, the Eagles, which basically gives them full control of the play
they're 2 games
or
ahead.
of their division,
They're 2
which
games
helps
ahead.
them. I think they have a 99.9% chance to make the playoffs,
Hey,
which is
it's so great to hear that.
yeah.
And then, we go in the playoffs, kind of lose.
We make the playoffs at least. But, yeah, one thing that stood out to me that game, 52 passes by Dak Prescott.
That's, wow. He's threw 44 out of 52. I mean, but he's not
2 of
a
those were
throwing quarterback.
picks.
Yeah.
He might have thrown for 455 yards and 52 passes, but that still doesn't change the fact that when I watched him play, he played like absolute garbage.
Yeah,
There's-
he could have cost the game, honestly.
Amari Cooper saved him so many times. 217 yards by Amari,
10 receptions for 217.
3 touchdowns. Which is,
And with the game-winning touchdown at the end.
yeah, he had all of our touchdowns. Brett Maher showed me that he can be inconsistent all
Take
the time.
over Dan Bailey later.
Okay. But Brett Maher, he missed a 45-yarder, and then next kick he kicked a 62-yarder, which is Cowboys' record,
Yeah, and nailed
and,
it.
and made it
Yeah.
easily. And I was like, okay, well,
Respect.
no, you should have
No?
made that 45-yarder
Well,
earlier.
I mean,
That's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
But I don't know. He scares me every time he kicks. But
especially after that first kick when the season started.
yeah,
missed.
Zeke had like 30 rushes or whatever, and had 113 yards. But
Yeah, but that's normal, Zeke.
yeah. Another game that stood out to me, very defensive game. They were kind of my underdog picks, as I said before the year started.
Chicago Bears.
Chicago Bears were my Super Bowl pick
Super Bowl.
as an
That's-
underdog,
Yeah.
and they're starting to look like that team. I mean, they started to
Especially
play
with-
well together.
Yeah, especially with Mitch Trubisky, right?
Yeah, Mitch
with
Trubisky,
him
he's
back.
finally back from injury, so no more Chase Daniel. Ugh. But yeah, so Chicago just holds LA to 180 passing yards by Jared Goff.
I mean, Jared Goff, but if you look at it, he hasn't been playing very well in the past 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah, he's kind of
He hasn't
struggled a
been himself
bit.
since the Kansas City game.
Kind of like he just put all his power into that game and then just hasn't
Just kind of
recovered.
deflated, yeah.
Jordan Howard, 101 rushing yards, playing well. And then, of course, Robert Woods with 61 receiving yards. So those were all the game leaders for every stat, which is it shows something how defensive that game was. But
I mean, with the leader of Khalil Mack, I mean, what else can you do?
they had like 4 picks on Jared Goff, which is
That's a lot.
yeah.
You gotta work on
Eddie
that.
Jackson's having one of the best years of his career, and I feel like he's definitely one of the best safeties in the league.
I actually do like the Bears' chances, and
Mhm.
to going into a championship.
No, yeah, especially seeing how the Cowboys shut down the Saints. I think the Bears could probably beat the Cowboys if anything.
Yeah. Well,
So
there's always been a lot of debate. Can defense win championships? So does this show?
I
that
think
defense can win a
definitely
championship?
for 85 Bears. I think they're at 85 Bears level with the amount of defense they're
Are
playing.
you serious?
15-6, 180 passing yards by the league, by the passer. That was the best passer in the game.
Maybe. But I'd have to look. At the
61
stats.
receiving yards. That secondary is insane. Kyle Fuller has shown that he can be a dominant corner. Eddie Jackson's shown that he can be a dominant safety. So, and then of course Khalil Mack, Defensive Player of the Year candidate, playing insane.
Yeah. Do you think he'll get it, or Aaron Donald?
That's also what I found interesting because this game, Khalil Mack definitely seemed like he had much more of an impact during the game. He showed he helped cause a safety. He got a whole bunch of tackles.
Yeah,
he got a
he's
sack.
himself. Yeah.
He just played amazing, which
Which is
Aaron
Very-
Donald, on the
yeah.
other hand, he showed me that he could still play. I think he got 1 sack,
Yeah.
but not the same Aaron Donald we've been seeing this whole time.
16 and a half sacks.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's really interesting, you know. Yeah. We'll see what happens during the playoffs.
Yeah.
I called this last week. Oakland Pittsburgh. I called Oakland winning.
It's so sad how the way they lost.
Pittsburgh just not looking like
Not a playoff team.
not a playoff team at all.
No.
2 straight losses. You lose to the Broncos, who lost to the 49ers, might I add. So, I just want to say, Pittsburgh, you're not
Yeah. If
Yeah.
Stephen A. Smith says he's worried, it's over.
you're not making the Super Bowl.
Yeah. It's
You're not making playoffs. I feel like a team that should make the playoffs over them is probably Baltimore.
Yeah. The Baltimore was right there with Kansas City. They
Yeah.
were leading
So
Kansas City.
went to OTU with them. Patrick Mahomes had 377 yards. So still
Yeah.
Patrick
Still
Mahomes.
himself.
Brashad Perryman showed up for some reason, which is very weird. Actually, no, that's Cleveland. What am I saying? But Tyreek Hill, 139 yards, still showing that the duo is pretty strong. I mean,
It's like a Tom Brady, Randy Moss right there.
no, definitely not.
Oh,
But
Okay.
yeah. So Tyreek Hill was injured second quarter, so I'm thinking I would probably rest him this upcoming week because you already clinched.
Yeah, you're a playoff
Playoffs,
berth.
yeah,
Home
so-
home advantage.
Yeah, so you're already good. So I'm saying you should just rest him if he's injured. You want to keep him healthy for the playoffs because it's really your only receiver you got right now, next to Travis Kelce.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they'll probably double.
Sammy
Travis.
Watkins, of course, played well, but I don't know.
I'm gonna bring out the elephant in the room. They lost Kareem Hunt.
Yeah, Kareem Hunt, he hit a woman in a
Yeah,
hotel.
that's ridiculous.
He denied it, and then video resurfaced of him doing it.
Yeah, literally doing it. That's.
And yeah, now he's been cut, but
You think
apparently
he'll be in the league again. You think
No,
anybody will want him?
it's a Ray Rice situation all over again. Let's be real. Except Ray Rice legit knocked her out.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's gonna be back in the league. He's gonna apply for the league's their program for abusers and stuff.
Yeah, anger management classes.
Yeah. So we'll see where that takes him. I don't
I
see it.
guess the best for him.
I don't think you
guess.
should come back into the league if we're gonna be real.
Yeah, that's a bad message.
Yeah, definitely. And especially in influence where people look up to you, you shouldn't have that kind of influence. where kids say, "I want to be like Kareem Hunt."
Now
Yeah.
they don't want.
Yeah.
They don't want.
You don't want to be him. So, that's all I gotta say on that situation.
No, yeah, I 100% agree with you.
So Mark Sanchez and the Redskins. Just want to point that out. Anything to say about that?
About it.
He played like trash. Yeah.
I mean, it's Mark Sanchez.
You
What
know,
else?
watching the Jets go to the conference championship with him
A couple years.
really amazes me on how we made it. It makes me feel a bit more grateful that we made it to a conference championship with him.
Yeah.
He's one of the worst like quarterbacks I've seen
Ever.
that was a star early in their career. I don't know.
Players have their years.
But yeah, with him at quarterback, he lost 40-16, with only Eli Manning throwing for less than 200 yards.
Wow.
That's so bad.
Wow, and I think Odell was out too. Right?
Yeah, Odell was out
Yeah.
too. Of course, Saquon Barkley played a huge role. He played amazing,
Yeah,
70 yards.
He's a great player.
It's between him and Philip Lindsay for
Rookie of the year.
offensive rookie of the year for sure. So
Yeah, I mean, the Giants ruined their draft pick. It's whatever.
yeah, I mean, yeah.
Do you think they'll need it though? Do you think
They're
this year?
They're tied with Redskins, Eagles, and Giants are all tied.
NFC is so
NFC East in
trash,
specific,
yeah.
if we're gonna be real. But yeah, so Washington's for sure out of the playoffs now. After that OT loss, I feel like Eagles might have a chance, but I don't think they're
No,
gonna make it.
they're done. They're still the Super Bowl.
I mean, other games that really stood out to me.
What about the Dolphins?
I forgot to point out the biggest,
Yeah,
the most
they beat
insane
the
game.
Patriots.
They didn't just beat the Patriots. They beat them with a lateral. A lateral.
He
might
said.
add. Yeah, exactly. Kenyon Drake. It was final play of the game. Dolphins just went Hail Mary mode. Lateral. Kenyon Drake touchdown. Beat the Patriots 34-33.
Whose fault is it?
I think Gronkowski's.
Gronk?
Gronk stood in the end zone. He was waiting to tackle him and just fell. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, Gronk. Goofy.
But there's only been 3 laterals, and I'm including the Music City Miracle in 2000 with the Titans. Only been 3 laterals for the win out of 93, I think, which
Wow.
is insane odds.
Wow,
It was
that's
2 out of 92 before.
Another
so
Miami Miracle.
that's what they're calling it.
Yeah.
Miami Miracle. We've had the Music City Miracle, and then we had the one in New Orleans, where I think the New Orleans had like some truck driver as their like receiver, and he came in. But yeah, the guy was like a delivery.
Wow.
Yeah, like for
Football
a second
gods
job.
really liked him.
Yeah, he had a solid career as a returner, but it's just the amount of odds that have to go into your favor and everything has to go right is insane.
Yeah, and it's also kind of weird, because the Patriots may not get home field advantage for playoffs, and this it's a little scary for the Patriots. Do you think they could go on the road and win a playoff game?
No, easily. You got Tom Brady.
I mean,
Well,
okay,
they got Tom
yes,
Brady.
you got
Let's
Tom
be real.
Brady, but I'm just. Look,
Let's be
man,
real, it's
they're
Tom
not the
Brady.
same team.
They really aren't, but I don't know. It's Tom Brady. We'll see what he does.
Yeah, I mean, this technically is maybe his final year. So
Yeah.
hopefully he can go out on a good note.
I mean, that's about it. I mean, if we want to talk about Jacksonville and Tennessee, that game was garbage.
Jacksonville. Just
Derrick
stop.
Henry, I cut you in like my 3rd week of fantasy. Only week you do good
What about
is
the Vikings?
playoffs. 236 yards, or no, sorry, 238 yards
Oh wow, sorry.
and 4 touchdowns. Like,
Wow.
I
You're in
guess-
the NFL.
yeah, that's
you
such
gotta-
a random like showing. I don't understand that, but
What about the Vikings firing their offensive coordinator?
yeah,
After the loss to the Seahawks.
it was an interesting move cutting their OC. I mean, they were obviously pretty stale.
I mean,
Not
everyone's blaming Kirk Cousins, man, but he's completing 67% of his passes.
he's playing really well.
He's being himself.
He
It's
played
just the
better than
defense.
I felt like he played better than Russell Wilson. But
Oh yeah, of course.
on that Monday night, even though they only scored 7 points. Stephon Diggs was still getting locked up. Adam Thielen was getting locked up, so I don't know.
You can't do anything without an offense. And their defense is last year #1 in the league, and now it's 11th. That's a big difference.
Yeah. Colts Texans. Shout out to Victor.
Yeah, Victor. They took the L, bud.
Yeah. Longest win streak in the NFL ended finally. So Andrew Luck starting to show that
MVP race. Yeah,
he's a legit candidate. 400 yards basically, 399 if you want to be technical, but playing well. All right. So let's move on from NFL playoffs to college football
It's
playoffs.
exciting.
College football playoffs is way more exciting, I feel like. So they dropped the rankings and the bowl games. #1 Alabama going against #4 Oklahoma with Heisman winner Kyler Murray.
Oof.
Who would you have in that one? I got Bama. Just
dude,
how well-rounded.
Bama and like, they always find a way. They always find a way to win. Just like in the SEC championship, Jalen Hurts. They always find a way to win.
Especially if you stop LSU to like 0 points and shut them out.
And also with Oklahoma.
That's the game that shocked me the most. That was such a hyped game. #3 versus #1, and you stopped the #3 team to 0 points.
0. Donut.
Now, a team that I feel shouldn't make the playoffs every year, but they somehow do because they always end up undefeated because they don't play anyone good. Notre Dame
Yeah.
playing a Clemson team that almost lost to Syracuse this year and Boston College.
I know, but it's still Clemson. I think they'll show up.
You got a freshman quarterback in, so we'll see what happens.
I mean, I like their chances.
We saw what happened to last year, so I can understand their chances there. So who do you got winning that one? I mean,
I got Clemson.
I got Clemson.
Yeah,
I feel like Ian Book and Notre Dame are just way too overrated of a team.
And it's also just a big name. So.
I don't like Notre Dame, if you can't tell. I really dislike them.
Shots fired.
Yeah, so my Penn State versus your Kentucky.
Oh yeah, you already know, Kentucky, man. Josh Allen. We got the defense. We have the best running back in the SEC.
You sure you want to say that?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Okay.
That's 2 first-round picks right there. Top 15, top 20.
Benny Snell is definitely not a top 15 player.
Are you kidding me right now?
He's definitely not.
What?
He's projected to go in the 2nd round.
That's just disrespectful. Like, that's disrespectful, ladies and gentlemen. Like, the best running back in the SEC.
Penn State, Trace McSorley, solid quarterback. I don't know if this team can get it done against Kentucky, but I feel like Big Ten teams are way harder than SEC teams, if we're going to be real.
I mean, yeah. I mean, the only SEC team is Alabama.
Georgia? You're forgetting them?
Well, okay.
You
we
know
almost beat no, we didn't.
No, you guys got shut out by Georgia, basically. But Georgia playing my Longhorns. It's gonna be it's gonna be rough. It's gonna be rough. I already expect it. I'm expecting us to lose 35-7.
Oh my God! Are you give your offense some like boost?
You saw
Still
what
got
we did.
6'7" Colin
You saw what we
Johnson.
did against OU, though. We got shut down.
That's y'all's defense, not your offense.
Well, our offense was pretty stale too. There were so many 3-and-outs, so many turnovers. It was rough. It was rough to watch. So I obviously got Georgia winning that.
Okay, it's all right. It's Colin Johnson's first-round pick, top 10.
Who you got winning that game then? If you believe in Texas so much, who you got winning that
All
game?
right, fine. I'll go with Georgia. I know they're gonna win.
My national champions, UCF, playing LSU.
UCF's got it in the bag.
Do you think UCF will beat LSU, beat another SEC team again?
Yeah, UCF's got it in the bag.
Beat Auburn last year, who were ranked like #6. So
It's a big game. No, but UCF's got it in the bag.
I think if UCF wins this and then go undefeated next year, they for sure should make the playoff.
For sure.
For sure. Florida, Michigan, not expecting much. I got Michigan winning that.
Yeah, I don't.
Shea Patterson, solid prospect.
And if they
going
lose,
into the NFL.
it's normal Michigan. They lose.
Yeah.
So
Finally, Washington versus Ohio State.
I got Ohio State.
Ohio State easily.
Yeah.
Dwayne Haskins, Heisman candidate,
Yeah, they always win.
playing
find
really
a way
well
to
this
win.
year. He broke all the records and still didn't even finish 2nd in Heisman.
That's disrespectful.
That shows how good this Heisman
Yeah.
class is, man. You got Kyler Murray breaking a whole bunch of records. Then you got Tua Tagovailoa Tagovailoa. I don't even know how to pronounce his name, but he's Tua at second place. He played really well this year for Bama, obviously.
didn't
Number one
show
team
up.
in the country. And then third, you had Dwayne Haskins, who broke all records for Ohio State passing. So,
What about Justin? Justin Herbert? Is
yeah,
that his name?
so let's move on to the next topic. Justin Herbert, going into the draft, projected to be like top 5. Who do you think would be interested in picking him up and just drafting him?
Who needs a quarterback right now?
I feel like if the Giants kept losing, they probably want him.
Okay, yeah. Well, yeah, this is technically, I predict he should retire this year. So, the Giants are a good pick. Maybe the Broncos.
Maybe, yeah.
Replace Case Keenum.
But you've already paid so much money to Case Keenum, you can't lose all that money.
Niners?
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Yeah.
But no. They paid $140 million for Jimmy G. They're not going to lose that money.
Okay.
You spent $140 million on a quarterback. You know you aren't going to draft a quarterback with your top 5 pick. No.
Okay. Well, then the best option is the Giants. Or the Packers. Buy Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, no.
I just don't.
I feel like Giants would
yeah,
trade up.
I
for him.
actually do like that.
If not, they could probably go for some other quarterback. But I
feel like
like
if it
Will
goes to the
Grier.
Giants,
Will
he'll,
Grier
like,
from West
change.
Virginia has played really well too. So, but I don't think it'll translate into the NFL where he goes from a Big 12 offense to Giants offense.
Yeah, but I feel like the Herbert, I feel like he'll change their offense because he's a mobile quarterback.
Yeah, I can see that.
So,
I don't know. Ed Oliver, obviously a top 5 pick from Houston.
he's a beast.
He's a big man, but
Yeah.
but he's played really well. I'm expecting him to be like number 4 probably.
I like it.
He got injured at the end of the year, so it's obviously going to hurt his draft stock a bit. So
Yeah,
I'm not
losing to
surprised.
4,
I'm not surprised if he falls like maybe 10 or 8, but we'll
still
see.
top 8.
I mean Josh Allen, as you said earlier.
Yeah, that's definitely a top
No, yeah, for
15
sure.
pick.
I think teams like the Jets would probably need him because they're definitely in need of a linebacker. I mean, all they got is Darren Lee, so.
Darren Lee.
God. But yeah, so.
All your teams are just.
Yeah, I'm pretty used to it at this point. All right, so moving on, we got MMA, boxing. So, a couple weeks ago, had Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder.
That was a good fight.
One of the best fights I've seen from all year. So it went down to the end, final round. Deontay Wilder knocks down Tyson Fury.
He comes back from the dead.
Basically,
Yeah.
he's out cold, and then at around 7 seconds, he just gets right back up.
Undertaker
And then
type stuff, man.
it was one of the craziest things I've ever seen. All my family was like, "Oh, he's out, he's done." you know?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, gets back up.
He just opened his eyes like he just.
Yeah.
Dude, it was
it
scary.
was pretty creepy, but yeah. So this made me think because the fight ended in a split decision, which is a draw, so a tie, which we don't.
Which is, I think Fury won that.
Yeah, Fury won most of the rounds. All Wilder had was those 2 knockdowns, which he had in like round 7 also. But this brought to my attention. What do you think was like one of the craziest fights you've ever like seen or ever heard about? Just
Seen?
Yeah.
Or ever heard about? What about the Buster Douglas?
yeah, I was watching a 30 for 30 on that last night.
It came out. Yeah, it came out last night, right?
Yeah, it was pretty good. It talked about Buster Douglas, 42-1 odds to beat Mike Tyson at his prime, 34-0. But
Post or pre tattoo?
pre, of course.
Okay.
Yeah, he was 34-0. But yeah, it made me really think like, what's the greatest fights I've ever seen? Canelo Triple G was another good one. But even though Triple G should have won, Canelo won. So, but
Always happens.
yeah, that's usually what happens. It's usually favored. This one, I mean, judges and stuff.
So how come Floyd Mayweather can't lose yet?
He's had such a dominance in his
Okay,
weight
well,
class.
he needs to lose. So
Well,
he can,
He's never gonna lose because he's never gonna fight again.
yeah.
He's gonna end at 50-0 or 51-0 or whatever. I don't really count the Conor fight.
Yeah.
Greg Hardy, former defensive end for Cowboys. He's
That's-
now-
That's
he's
a
not go-
horrible person.
Yeah, he's a terrible person. Now finally doing something. He's no longer fighting girls. He's fighting actual guys this
Actual
time
men.
in the UFC. Making his UFC debut on Fight Night in January 13th.
Yes.
So I'm interested to see what he does. Does this really bring any attention to you?
I
Do you
mean,
think?
not really.
He's 3-0 already in his MMA career, so
I mean, I didn't think. I mean, all I've heard his name was with the women and stuff, and then when I hear his name, I'm like, what? He doesn't. I don't know. That's just me. Like, how does a lineman in football just transition to UFC?
it's a process.
Yeah,
He's a built dude too.
I mean,
so,
yeah, he's a stocky guy, but I don't know. I just never saw it coming.
Moving on. MLB, Adrian Beltre, a Dallas icon, is now retired.
Yes.
Um,
And some
mean-
of his stats, man, he has over 3,000 hits.
which is pretty
Yeah,
impressive in its own right.
that's on top of
Yeah.
all time. 477 home runs. He had 48 home runs in 1 year, 2004.
which led the league at one point.
Yeah, that's
So
he's definitely an all-time great. First ballot Hall of
first
Famer.
ballot Hall of Famer for
Even
sure.
though
No,
it's 0-3,
no steroids.
yeah, no
no nothing.
steroids, all natural. Great player, great guy.
All natural.
Yeah.
But
It's definitely
yeah.
sad days in Texas, man.
yeah. So
Is that all we got today?
I think so,
I
man.
think so. All right. Well, this is episode 6 of Game Day Every Day. As you can see, our social media is there, so why don't you go hit a follow.
But Twitter link will be in the description below.
yeah. in case there's-
Sometimes ask questions, ask for your guys' feedback, and it's been game day every day.
See y'all later.